threat.
All right, let's take you now back to our leading story, which is currently developing, where our reporter Chriselda Lewis she joins us live now from a recovery operation for a woman who has been stuck for 10 days underground following the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal. Chriselda, what is the latest there? I understood when you were speaking to us earlier, you were coming to us live from Green Park in Durban North, and that rescue mission was still underway. In fact, the recovery operation. Talk to us about what's the latest. We seem to have lost Chriselda's audio, but we'll see if we can re-establish that audio. She's in Green Park, Durban North, where a woman is currently stuck in what believes to be where her house was. She's stuck underground. She's been stuck underground for over 9 days, we understand now. That scene at the moment is a rescue mission where Metro Police as well as the SABC are currently trying to retrieve her body. Her family members, of course, reported her missing soon after the floods. And rescue mission has been very impossible since she was stuck underground because of the unstable structure, we understand. So it's been some time now since the rescue officials have been there, trying obviously to make sure that it is safe for them to do so. Let's see if we can get Chriselda back on. Chriselda, can you hear me now?
Yes, I do apologize for that, Unati. And we understand now from the rescue team that the remains of the woman who's been stuck underground for the past 10 days now, the body is about to be retrieved. We did see some of the friends of who we believe is now deceased coming through here today. I will just speak to Mam Faith Mamwandla in just a moment, but we do understand that the recovery mission has now been completed, and we're expecting in the next few moments the remains of the woman who's been stuck underground to be retrieved. We don't want to mention her name at this stage, and I will ask our guest in just a moment not to mention her name in case there are relatives that have not been informed of this tragedy that has taken place here. Certainly bringing to the fore the extent of what has been taking place here in eThekwini. Remember that so many people remain unaccounted for at this particular stage. Many are still missing, and at this stage we are at the scene of a recovery of someone who we believe is a woman who's been trapped underground for the past 10 days now. A huge embankment had fallen, we understand, on the house that she was staying in at these premises here behind me. I'm going to bring in Mam Faith Mamwandla to speak to us now. Mam Faith, siyabonga kakhulu ngesikhathi sakho ma. Bengicela ukuthi mhlambi uzomalana namhlanje. Siyaxolisa kakhulu mama ngokwenzekile lana namhlanje. Siyabona ukuthi kunzima la kuwena. Unjena uyancancazela noncancazela nje.
Ngiyabingelela, ngiyabonga nokuthola leli thuba ngomntwana oshile ebe umngane kuthina engazulidalula ke igama lakhe njengamanje. Ngigcine ukukhuluma naye kwaku 8/27 Monday, linetha kakhulu. Ngisho ngithi akaphume ngaphakathi endlini ngoba bathi abaphatha akaphume, so ke kusho ukuthi akakwazanga ukuphuma. Mase kushaya ithuba zabo 11 ngolesibili singaxhumani naye ko WhatsApp, ngase sengigijima sengiya kwabanye abangani ukumbuza ukuthi nina nimgcine nini ngoba ngizwa kuthiwa khona inhlekelele evele la ku Portland Place. Ngathi mangifika kubangani uAgnes noMahlophe uZanele sagijima same time seza lana sathi masifika kwathiwa no more. Lobo buhlungu ke nje sahlangabezana nabo sigijimile zonke lezi insuku kusuka ehambile sifika sikhuleka. Izolo ahlangana bonke omama bamajaliti sahlangana sonke besiphelele lana sakhuleka salwa samthethisa sathi sicela aphume ngoba ukuza goduka ekhaya abantwana bakhe bakwazi ukuthi ithambo likamama wakhe lilaphi la lilele khona. Sibonga uNkulunkulu nje mangabe ephumile umndeni ukwazi ukuthi ayobekwa ngezotha endaweni efanele. Behlukumezeke kakhulu kule ndawo. Kodwa ke siyambonga uNkulunkulu eyinkosi nomsindisa kukho okuhlula yena.
Mama bese nimxelele umndeni ngalokho kwenzekile.
Yebo umndeni sawuxelela wafika. Kodwa ngendlela futhi sawuthumela ngayo sawuthumela ngendlela enesizotha. Asutshelanga sathi uyile waphuka usesibhedlela sicela bagijime. Kwathi noma bebuza ukuthi hayi pho akatholakala ingane efonini sathi hayi ifoni ngesikhathi ewa iwile yaphahlazeka kwaze kwaba umndeni wakhe uyafika.
Kuhlungu impela mama namhlanje. Hey angazi nokuthi sithini.
Siyabonga nje kakhulu sibonga abasebenzi nabasebenzile nabo abasebenzile Nkosi yami sibonga kubo bonke amaphoyisa intatheli umsebenze bebewenza ngoba besubona Nkosi yami besigijima singalali. Siyabonga uNkulunkulu emuhle besikhalela ithambo lakhe nje bese silikhalela akekho umuntu owangaba nalo ithuna. Kumele ukuthi umndeni wakhe ulazi ithuna lakhe simazi nala simbeke khona nathi uqobo lwethu. Ube umntwana ohloniphayo. Ngisashilo ngithi ngeke ngiligagule igama lakhe ngoba hlezi umndeni awukazi.
Mam Faith siyaxolisa kakhulu mama. Siyaxolisa kakhulu. Hayi ngicabanga ukuthi asukudedele mama kancane nje. Mhlawumbe ungahlala phansi nje sikhangela indawo lapho unohlala phansi khona ngoba sekunzima siyabona nje. Kunzima kakhulu. Unathi I have no words. I really have no words. The friends of the deceased, her remains have not yet been brought to the surface. We understand that is just a few moments away from that. And the devastation for them, like the devastation that we've seen over the past couple of hours, over the past couple of days. We know that the death toll itself expected to rise as a result of those that still remain unaccounted for at this stage. This is the human face of this tragedy that has taken place at eThekwini. 448 people perished in this tragedy, in this disaster. And this adds another number to those figures. They're not just numbers. These are individuals, families, mothers, fathers. Some families that we've spoken to over the past couple of hours, we're talking about families that have been completely wiped out. Or perhaps you have one that is able to tell the tale of the tragedy that they have seen. Very difficult for us to consistently bring you these updates, but this is the tragedy after everything, after the floods themselves have taken place, while cleanup operations take place. The cost is also being counted here. The body count is also increasing. And we're expecting any minute now for the remains of Mum Faith's dear friend to be brought to the surface. A very unfortunate incident, natural disaster that has caused absolute mayhem. And this is what is taking place here at the moment. We're also going to be extremely sensitive as the remains of Umama. We're not going to release her name at this stage. We've also asked Mum Faith not to do so on the basis that some family members probably still also need to be informed about what has taken place here. But those who have worked with her, those who have stood with her side by side, she says, she was someone who respected, and all they've been praying for at this stage is to make sure that her remains are brought to the surface. All they want, she says, sifuna mathambo nje. She says all they want is her remains, her bones, to loosely translate that, so that they're able to lay her to rest. Absolutely devastating scenes. I'll stand out of shot for just a moment and ask Mum Faith to come towards this side with me, towards the right over here, and you'll see we're standing just outside the premises. The owners of this property not in a position to speak to us at this particular stage. You'd see the South African Police Service. You'd know that the National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula is also here at the scene of this, trying to make sure that there is some finality that is brought to this particular matter here. Very unfortunate scenes that have been taking place. We're out here in Greenwood Park, where the remains of a woman who has been trapped underground for 10 days is expected to be brought to the ground any minute now. The National Police Commissioner is still on site at the moment, together with the police rescue team. They've been working around the clock over the past couple of days to ensure that there is closure that is brought to this family, as well as the loved ones of the lady who was also staying on this premises. Very difficult scenes out here in Greenwood Park, where there certainly needs to be closure for this family. We understand that the family of the deceased had also been here, but earlier on they have already left, but certainly her friends, all inconsolable over what has taken place here. And I think for the next couple of days into weeks, this is certainly what is going to be told of the tragedy that has taken place here in eThekwini. Many more others still need to be recovered. Many more others need to understand what has been the fate of their loved ones. That's where we're going to leave it for now here in Greenwood Park. This live pictures at the recovery of, you'd see some of the rescue teams coming out now, which might give us some indication that perhaps we're close to the recovery of, or the remains being brought up of the lady who has been trapped underground. So we're going to let you go for the next few moments, and certainly we'll bring you the latest when that does happen. But absolutely devastating scenes, and friends inconsolable here over this tragic turn of events, where on the day that the floods or the rains had devastated the most, she had remained trapped underground there. Underground. So I think that's where we're going to have to leave it for this moment. Absolutely devastating scenes at this particular time.
Devastating, difficult and horrifying scenes there coming out of KwaZulu-Natal. If you've just joined us, that was our senior reporter Chriselda Lewis coming to us live there from Greenwood Park, north of Durban, where a recovery mission is currently underway to retrieve the body of a woman who was trapped underground at her home for 10 days. And of course, it would have been on the Monday evening where those devastating floods started in the province, of course, eThekwini being the hardest hit. Now, on that particular day, we were told by the weather service that it rained in essence of 5 months worth of rain in one particular night. So of course, that is probably why we are currently seeing the sheer amount of devastation and horror. 448 people are known to have died from those floods. Scores others are still missing. And Chriselda interviewing a family friend there outside that home where the recovery mission is currently underway. And she was telling, horrific scenes of how they were all trying to get away from their houses when they saw that it was becoming increasingly dangerous to be in the house. Unfortunately, the woman was then trapped underground her home. But we, of course, are staying onto the story, and we will bring you the very latest as and when we have it from KZN.